Guys, you know, if nothing else, we try to keep it truthful around here, right? Show you everything that happens, open book, no secrets. Well, I started doing a little thinking and remembering, and apparently I've been lying to you guys for the last few months, and I feel absolutely terrible about it. But we're going to talk about that during this week's Tuesday morning throwback from Pugliese Speed Shop. So, as I've been telling you guys for months and months and months, this is my first square body. Well, I got to thinking about it, and I hate to use the word technically, because anytime you got to use the word technically, you're wrong. It's that simple, right? But, well, technically, it's not. It's not my first square body, or at least it's not the first square body I was responsible for. There's where the technicality is. And, yeah. So this is the first one I've owned, even though I've actually owned it for, 6 months now, and still don't have it in my name. Be that as it may, I didn't have this other one in my name either. And unfortunately for the guys who actually owned it, neither did he. So, it's kind of a long story. And if I walk around the Suburban the whole time telling it, I'm going to get lazy. So, no, I'm already lazy, guys. I'm going to get dizzy. So, I'm going to be lazy. There you go. And we're going to go sit down, and I'm going to tell you what in the hell I'm actually talking about. I'm clapping again, guys. They're doing great. But, picture it. San Diego.
They named it San Diego, which of course in German means a whale's vagina.
1996. So, I come off of my first deployment on board the mighty USS Tarawa, which is now at the bottom of the ocean. But first deployment, we got off the boat, and my buddy Josh, who was also like my supervisor at the time, which, if you know Josh, is the scariest thing in the world. But he's got some money together, and he wants to buy a Jeep. I know I said square body. I'm getting there, all right? So he wants to buy a Jeep. The problem is, in the 90s, in San Diego, Jeeps were like, it was ridiculous to find a decent Jeep that you could be one like a Wrangler, CJ or YJ or whatever. Crazy prices back then. They're not any better now in that area, but whatever. That's not what this is about, all right? So then he says, you know what I want? I want something that's lifted and I can pull the top off of it. So he says, I'm looking at Blazers and Broncos. Okay. So that's what we started doing. Now this is the back in the day of the Auto Trader, right? You're looking in this little penny saver, and you're looking at one black and white photo and hoping for the best, right? And you're falling in love. You guys remember, you're looking at this photo, you read your little 25 character description with a phone number, you're in love. You fall in love. It happened. I don't know how it happened, and it's amazing with like what we got going on now, how we would fall in love with this one little. I mean, the guys were this big, but you would. And man, it is freaking hot in here. Okay, we're back. So he found a Blazer. We went and looked at it. It was a 70. I'm going to say 74, because 74, 75. Because it wasn't a full convertible one. I think 73 was the only. Correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe Andrew will fact check it. I know I won't. I think 73 was the first year square body, but that was still a full convertible like the older ones. 74, I believe, was just the back came off, and then you had like the top just over your head if you're driving, because that's what his was. I'm pretty sure it's 74. Now this thing was jacked up. It was probably 35s, 38s maybe. If everything goes well, you'll see pictures start popping up over here because we found them. But Megan's looking right now. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, it was on 35s at least, probably 38s because that thing was up there. I couldn't work on it without actually sitting in the engine bay. That's how, like, we were just doing a tune-up and whatever. He picks this thing up. It's got a built 350 in it. It's cool. It's stupid loud, glass packs out the side, all that. Just San Diego, rust-free. Awesome, right? So, I don't know, maybe paid $3,000 or something for it. I don't really remember. But he picked it up and drove it. We started driving this thing around. And now, it was awesome. It was awesome. Now, if you notice, I said we just started driving this thing around. Never did I say that we registered it or insured it and, title swap, nothing. I did not mention that because we did not do that. Because, I don't know, Josh was 20, I was 18, and we were idiots. That's just what we did. I can actually write myself out of this one for the beginning because it wasn't my vehicle. So, for right now, I'm innocent. So he's shooting all over the place with it. At one point, something happened with it. He had to get towed, but he got that fixed. I forget what it was. Something small, like a push rod or something like that, bent, and he got that replaced or whatever. It was little top end stuff. There was something in the motor. I think it was top end. But either way, gets that fixed. He's out running around again. So, Josh transferred. Actually here to Pax River from San Diego. And we're hanging out, and I says, hey, man, what are you going to do? Because he lived on the ship still. I had an apartment. Me and Megan were married, so his Blazer was in the back parking lot of my apartment complex. So I was like, dude, what are you going to do with this Blazer? He's like, what? I said, that giant monster truck that you got in the backyard. And he's like, oh, I forgot. We were not very responsible back then. He wasn't thinking about it, and actually had been sitting back there for a while. He wasn't running around because, I don't know, Josh has, the attention span of a goldfish, so he wasn't really thinking about it. Well, he says, hey, man, can you sell it for me? I was like, yeah, leave it back there, man. I'll figure it out. So I tried. Actually, so this is back, like, we didn't have cell phones. He called me in my apartment. He's like, hey, some dude on the ship hit me up. He wants it. Can you drive it to work? Yeah, I can do that. This is where I'm guilty because I knew there wasn't no registration or insurance or anything on it. So I drive it in. Now, you couldn't get it on base because of those things. And back then you had stickers. Now you can if you want to be really shady. But I parked it on the street, went to work for the day, talked to the guy. He flaked out. And I said, okay, I'm going to drive it home. We get to, I get off of work. Actually, if somehow I end up at my brother Anthony's apartment because he was stationed down there too. We're on the same ship. Actually did a deployment together. So that was pretty dope. He was moving out to El Cajon where I was living at the time. He didn't pack anything. We stopped by during lunch and, I think everyone went back to work. We packed his apartment, moved a lot of stuff. I made one trip he was moving a block from me. I made one trip there, parked the Blazer on the street in front of my apartment. And I said, okay. No, wait, this is the wrong story. Holy shit. That's right. I didn't make it to work. Wow. That's what happened. The guy flaked out, but I didn't even get... So it actually lost... Was it a trans? Guys, wow. This is a rough one. Why can't I remember this? You know why I can't remember this? Because the devil's in the corner over here laughing at me about how freaking hot it is in here. So what did he do? Got it. You ready? Rewind it. Here we go. I was taking it to work. It broke down. I ended up on the side of the road, used a call box, called a tow truck. They brought it and dropped it off in front of the house. That's what happened. Then I got in my car, drove to work, talked to the guy that wanted it. He flaked out 100% because it broke down, even though he had no idea what's wrong with it. And I think it was a trans. It's almost positive. So they couldn't get behind my apartment complex, so they parked it they left it on the street in front of it. And that's when I got to work, I talked with Anthony. That's how that'll. We're back, guys. We're back. So we go over, we help him move everything expertly with trash bags and stuff, because that's how you do it when you're like, 19 years old. I get back to my apartment that night at about 10, 11 o'clock at night when we're done moving. Blazer's gone. I'm like, they stole it. So I call Josh, and I'm like, dude, told him what happened. And then he's like, how did they steal it? I said, I don't know. I couldn't drive it. The trans there was no gears. So he's like, dude, I don't know what I'm going to do. I never put it in my name. And I'm like, you can't report it stolen. It ain't even his, like legally. He had the title in Maryland, which that was probably a bad idea now that I think about that. But, so like, what do you do, right? Well, nothing. We couldn't do nothing. Luckily, Josh is not the kind of guy to stress things. And he's like, well, I guess I lost it. Which apparently is just something that happens to people that I know. Because I gave Jimbo this perfectly good, I think it was a 71 F250, 390, nice truck, right? Gone. He lost it. Lost it. It's gone. It happens. So this whole thing with Josh prepared me for what happened with Jimbo later on, right? But we're not done with the Josh story yet. You're never done with a Josh story. So, well, let's find out what's up. I'm like, hey, they're going to contact the guy that he bought it from. So he's like, oh, maybe we hit that guy up. So Josh calls him, because he actually still had his number from the, what do you call it? Auto Trader. And he says, the guy's like, I don't know what you want from me. He didn't care at all. And I don't blame the guy. It's like a year later, that guy wants to be done with this thing. He should have been done with this thing a year ago. But we screwed him over a little bit. Well, he didn't live that far from me. And I was driving one day. That Blazer was in front of his house. What happened is it was sitting there with expired tags. Nobody stole it. Somebody saw it, reported it. They towed it. Brought it to the impound yard. This was the last guy that had his tag on it, because in California the tag stays with the vehicle. That's the last guy I was registered to. He went and picked it up, paid whatever, I don't know, $100 fine, whatever he might have paid. Got it fixed. Now he's got his truck back and all the money. So this guy, he made out, right? So then I got this buddy Bob, who is crazy, he's from Boston. Those guys are. He says, yo, we're going to go over there and get it. You still got the keys? I said, I'm pretty sure he changed that, but we're going to get it. And I thought about it. I did. You know what, Bob? You're right. Because we did have a title, and, well, I never saw it. I said, but, this is messed up. Because, Josh did reach out to the guy. He should have helped him out. And we were going to go do that. I said, Bob, you're right. Let's do it, man. And then I remembered. When we went there to buy the truck, I drove Josh there. And he was a pretty built dude, especially for me, who was 165 pounds, soaking wet at the time. And he had this room full of trophies and, like, him breaking things in half and all this. Like, he was, like, black belt, whatever. And I was like, you know what, dude? Josh doesn't give a damn about this thing. I'm not getting my ass whipped because Josh didn't register his truck. And we called Josh, and Josh agreed. There's no reason for any of us to get our asses whipped. And, well, that guy made out the deal of a lifetime. He probably sold it again for even more money because they just kept going up in value, especially if you look at them now. And there it is. So that was the story of the first square body I was responsible for, which honestly, guys, I kind of owned just as much as I own this one right now because it's not, I never did anything with the title still. I should probably do that. But so there you have it. These are stories, guys, and there's so many things when you mess with cars, or not even that, just when you're young, man, you think about it. Just dumb shit that you did. And now I'm looking back at it, and I'm like, why did we let all of that happen? Like, yeah, why did we let all that happen? But here I got the same thing going on. So, did I really learn anything? No, you guys decide. Thanks for watching. I told you, you're never done with a Josh story, right? So I was out here messing with the caddy, you know, reminiscing, thinking about old times because clearly I just told that story. And I want to let you guys know, he did get the Jeep. I was stationed with him again down in Virginia Beach, and he was my LPO, you know, my supervisor again, which is just as scary. Especially now we both had more rank, so that's even. Whew. But yeah, he was up there in Virginia Beach or down there or wherever you're at, you figure it out, and he got that Jeep. He ended up with a CJ7, late 70s, early 80s. I don't remember. It was blue. I don't have any pictures of it. If I do, completely on accident because I don't remember taking any. But Josh, let's just say he was not made for the old car scene, and because it's just as eventful of a story with the Jeep as it was with the Blazer. But that's for another time. Thanks for watching, guys.